So let's go on to the final region, the South region, right?
Right. Wait, yeah.
Yes, the South region.
Right here. Yes.
Where Florida is the 1 seed Davis. Clemson, Iowa. I already looked it up and saw people on Twitter complaining about it. This is like Undercity. Apparently, both of these teams are
they both
slow
play
and don't
slow.
score. And I think the over-under is like 136 or something like that.
131.
Oh my God. Yeah, I'll probably slam the under on that one. Iowa is interesting. Clemson is interesting. But Florida, Davis, they got their ass kicked by Vandy, man. Like,
Yes, they did.
in a way that I was like, wow. I would say that was more shocking than Purdue convincingly beating Michigan today. I mean, Florida, they're the defending champions. Let's not forget, they have Condon still. They have Hawks still. They brought in Xavier Lee from Princeton. They brought in Boogie Flan from Alabama, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Boogie Flan. Yeah.
yeah, I think so. So this is a team that's really, really good with a lot of momentum and now a giant chip on their shoulder. So just looking at the overall bracket, we can go down the block. Houston is the 2 seed. I know you said UConn is probably your strongest 2 seed, but I might say Houston is. I mean,
no, Houston's the strongest 2 seed. UConn's the second strongest. Michigan State's the strongest 3 seed.
I agree. Okay. Yeah. Houston is very strong. I think they're going to be very, very interesting in terms of just being slept on a little bit, just because they come out of a Big 12 that was so strong, so loaded. So let's just, go around the block a little bit, take a peek. I already know what I'm going to say. I think Penn could be Illinois.
It's so interesting.
I know it's interesting, and Illinois is really good. Keaton Wagler's awesome. There's another player, Stojakovic, and another guy. Yeah, like they're a good team. They're very well coached. But pay it with Fran McCaffrey. Like Fran McCaffrey, he's won a conference tournament with 5 different teams. He's a sick coach. He played at Penn. And then TJ Power, dude, one of the best college basketball names. His name's TJ Power. He had 44 points today against Yale, including not a game winner, a buzzer beater to go to overtime. He is insane. And then they have another guy named Cam Thrower. Like, one of the best backcourt names in all of college basketball.
And then they're technically missing their regular season leading scorer in Ethan
Roberts.
Are they? Yeah, he wasn't even playing during the Ivy League. And I think so. I think so.
I still like Penn. I think they could be interesting. Fran McCaffrey has been in the tournament before. Like, I think this could be a really fun game. Probably, like you talked about it with a couple of different things. Illinois is probably going to win that game. I just think Penn could be very, very interesting. Very, very interesting. But what are your overall impressions of the rest of the bracket? Or region, sorry.
I think
Nebraska ball?
I think I have one of my favorite spread, not upset, spread bets. And honestly, I do like Troy. Really? I wasn't actually going to say Troy, but you just said Nebraska. Mine would be McNeese. I think this Vandy team,
they were the number 1 upset pick last year. People forget, and they got their shit pumped.
But this is not Will Wade's team anymore. Yes, and what's his face is back. The equipment manager went to NC State, came back.
Omar, whatever his name is, that kid was the lamest, most cringiest thing of last year.
McNeese plus 13.5. I think they can definitely keep that game close. And again, this is where sometimes going on these big conference tournament runs isn't a good thing. So I think that could come back to hurt Vanderbilt. We've seen Vanderbilt lose some games, really bad games in recent memory. This year. A game like Kentucky, they got smoked by Kentucky like 3 weeks ago. Nebraska, Troy. I hate Nebraska. I hate Nebraska with all my heart, just because I don't think they're a good team.
Dude, hold on.
I think this Troy matchup
It's Nebraska ball, dude. It's Nebraska ball. It's right there in the name. Come on. It doesn't get you pumped?
No, it doesn't. They were the fakest 20-0 team of all time.
They were. But what about VCU and UNC? I love VCU.
I think VCU is definitely on upset. This game's on upset alert with VCU because I think that they are an all-around team. Like they're really good. They beat Dayton today pretty handily.
They crushed them. Yeah.
And this UNC team's obviously missing their best player now.
Yeah.
In Caleb Wilson for the rest of the tournament. So I even actually as a slight dog, they're only 2.5 point dogs. I think VCU plus 120 plus VCU plus 120 on the money line is a very, very interesting bet.
Wow, that is very interesting. I think that's probably going to be one of the more popular upsets, if you want to call it that, of the entire tournament, just because Caleb Wilson isn't playing. Just going around the rest of it, though, St. Mary's and A&M, obviously St. Mary's is ranked ahead of them, but I think they're going to crush them only because A&M got their shit pumped in the SEC tournament and lost.
It was A&M's
or Ole Miss.
A&M's another team at the middle to even lower tier of some of these big conferences. Like, I don't know.
Again, they got in because of their conference name.
Yes. And I think St. Mary's, this is actually a better St. Mary's than we've seen in recent memory.
Okay.
But I don't think that this is the St. Mary's team that finally makes it to the Elite Eight, or I think they made it to the Sweet 16 a few years ago.
They did.
But I think St. Mary's takes that game. I was trying to find the spread on that. They're 2.5 point favorites.
Okay. So what's your feelings on the overall feeling of the bracket? Do you think it's Florida's one to lose? I think VCU can maybe go on a run. People aren't talking about them. I mean, if Illinois makes it out of Penn, daunting Penn game. But I think Illinois could be really freaking good too. So this is all under the pretense that I already said Houston could win this region. But what do you think?
Yep. Illinois obviously had their issues in the Big Ten tournament, losing that game to Wisconsin. But I think that Wisconsin team matches up very well with them. And Wisconsin beat them already that year. I think Wisconsin may have – so Wisconsin – I was trying to think if they only played them once or if they played them twice in the regular season.
It's the same week they beat Michigan State too.
Yes. They went on a crazy run, and I think that Wisconsin team just matches up really well with this Illinois team.
Yeah.
I think I said this in the East region too when I was talking about UConn and Michigan State. I think this Illinois Houston game could be in the Sweet 16, could be game of the tournament.
That would be awesome.
I'm going to be honest with you. I think whoever wins that game is going to give Florida an absolute dogfight. So let's pull up the odds of what the bracket looks like.
Well, is Florida automatically going to win 2 or 3 games, you think?
No. Let's go back. I don't see. I would probably pick Clemson.
What if Vandy beat, McNeese and Nebraska?
The problem is, I think Vandy and Nebraska are both frauds. Fraudulent.
That's what I'm saying.
See them. I know.
If Vandy beats them and then faces off Florida, who they just whooped in the SEC tournament, can they beat them again?
I don't know. I mean,
so what do you think in terms of the region winner? Just go ahead.
I would probably look at Houston.
That's it.
Yes, I don't think this is one I would go super deep on. Like, yes, the Midwest. I would probably look at Virginia
But hold on, but Virginia is 11-1, and then if you go back to the South region, so is Vandy.
Plus 250.
What do you like better, Virginia or Vandy? If you're going to take 11-1.
Virginia. I think I would rather take Alabama or Kentucky over Vanderbilt.
What?
Sorry, Jason.
Really?
Sorry, I know. Yes, I don't think this Vandy team has shown.
I don't love.
They obviously just won the SEC. They obviously just won the SEC, but I don't know.
No,
my picks, like especially value wise, would be Purdue plus 360. Okay. Would be Houston plus 250. I guess. I don't think I could go away from Houston or Illinois here.
No, do it. VCU. I mean, 150-1. Are you kidding me? I don't know. It's a bit too far.
The more we hear about them this week, we'll have a better idea. I would look at Virginia 11-1, even potentially Kentucky 45-1.
Okay,
and then I would definitely look at Michigan State up here in the East at 7-1. I think your flyer here could be like another flyer could be Kansas, but that's you're hoping for Kansas to do things that they've done because of their name. Like
Kansas could be the sleeper of the entire tournament, Davis. I know I already talked about them being different versions of themselves and whatnot, but sometimes that leads into when it comes down to it in the biggest games, your team comes together rather than comes apart. And when you have a guy like Darren Peterson, a guy that people are making comparisons to for lack of a better comparison, Kobe and Kawhi. Like, this dude is a stone cold killer when he puts it into that gear. But will he put it into that gear? Will, everyone around him play well as well? I mean, it's a big question, but I think Kansas could win that region if things went their way. Why couldn't they beat St. John's? Why couldn't they beat UConn if it came down to it? But I don't know.
I think the issue on my side is that they would have to go through Duke and UConn probably.
Yeah.
Or Duke and Michigan State. I don't like that. Like, honestly, if Kansas even beats California Baptist, they would have to go let's just say hypotheticals. They'd probably have to go up against St. John's, Duke, and UConn. That's a really tough stretch.
Bill Self won the quietest national championship of his life a couple of years ago. He can do anything at this point. I really think he's a top tier coach, and that is a coach, or that is the bracket of legends. I mean, Hurley is in there, Patino's in there. A lot of these guys have experienced that. You're already talking about Illinois and Houston being a great matchup for the tournament. There's a couple matchups in the East region that might win Game of the Year a couple times over.